students, welcome back to our channel. This is Bhaskar Bora. We are discussing 5th chapter quadratic equations from 10th class mathematics. As in the part of this chapter, in our earlier videos, we have been discussed about the method of factorization for finding the roots of a quadratic equation. Now today in this video, we are going to see that whether the method of factorization applicable to all types of quadratic equations. If not, is there any other method to find the solutions of a quadratic equations? So let us see this by taking one example. Find the solutions of a quadratic equation x square plus 4x minus 4 equals to 0 by factorization method. So let us try to find out the solutions of this quadratic equation using the factorization method. So in the factorization method, what we do first? We have to split the middle term by taking the suitable pair of factors for the product of x square coefficient and constant. So first let us find out the product of x square coefficient and constant. So see, what is the x square coefficient here? It is clearly 1. So x square coefficient is 1 and the constant is minus 4. So 1 into minus 4, we get the product as minus 4. Now we have to take a pair of factors for minus 4 such that the sum of those two factors should be equals to x coefficient. Here the x coefficient is plus 4. So now think of what are the pair of factors that we need to take here such that the sum of those two factors equals to plus 4. Do you get any pair of integers as the factors of minus 4 such that the sum of those two factors equals to plus 4? I think you didn't get. So let's see this clearly by listing out all the pairs of factors for minus 4. So what are the pairs of factors for minus 4? We can write 1 comma minus 4, or we can take minus 1 comma 4, or 2 comma minus 2, or minus 2 comma 2. These are the possible integer pairs of factors for minus 4. Now let us see the sum of these pairs of factors. So the first pair of factor is 1 and minus 4. So by doing their sum, 1 plus minus 4 equals to minus 3. Now is this sum minus 3 is equals to x coefficient 4? So clearly minus 3 is not equals to the x coefficient of 4. So hence we cannot consider this first pair of factors as the factors for minus 4 in this situation. Now let us see the sum of the second pair of factors. So what are the second pair? Minus 1 and 4. Now what is their sum? Minus 1 plus 4 will be equals to 3. And in this case also the sum is not equals to x coefficient, that is 4. Hence we do not consider this pair also. Now let us see the third pair. What we have? 2 comma minus 2. And do their sum. What is the sum of 2 and minus 2? 2 plus minus 2 equals to 0. So here this sum is also not equals to x coefficient, that is 4. So here this pair also we do not consider in this situation. Now the last pair, that is minus 2 comma 2, and whose sum is also equals to 0. Hence this pair is also not considered in this situation. So that means we are unable to get a pair of integer factors for the product of minus 4 such that the sum of those two factors is equals to 4. Therefore we can say that the method of factorization is not going to help us in this situation. So if it is not work out here, then how can we find the solution of this quadratic equation? Is there any other method? Yes, we have one more method called the method of completing the square. So let us understand this method by finding the solutions of this quadratic equation. So what is the equation that we have? X square plus 4x minus 4 equals to 0. So in this method, first we have to see whether the x square coefficient is equals to 1 or not. Now clearly here the x square coefficient is 1. So when the x square coefficient is 1, then we can proceed to next step. So the next step what we have to do, simply we have to isolate the constant term. That means we have to write the constant term as a single term on the right hand side part. So means what we are going to do here, just transpose the constant term to the right hand side part so that we can isolate that term. So by transposing the constant term here, that is minus 4, we get x square plus 4x equals to 4. So what we did here in the first step, simply we transposed constant term to the RHS part. Now on the left hand side what we have, x square plus 4x. Now this x square plus 4x can also be written as x square plus the term 4x can be written as the product of 2 into x into 2. So now what we have, x square plus 2 into x into 2. So here if we take x as a, so this x square can be represented as a square and plus, and in this 2 into x into 2, we represented x with a, so we can write 2 into x as a, 2a, and the next 2, if we take it as b, so we get what? We get the form a square plus 2ab here. So that means here x square plus 2 into x into 2 is look like a square plus 2ab. Do you recall any algebraic identity by seeing this form, a square plus 2ab? Yeah, of course, you get the form that is a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is the formula for a plus b whole square. But here we simply have a square plus 2ab only, and there is no b square term. So if we take b square term here, then it gives us a square plus 2ab plus b square, the complete formula of a plus b whole square. But we do not have here. So as we do not have the b square term here, we are going to add the b square term on both sides of this equation. So by adding the same term on both the sides, does it affect the equality of this equation? We know that for an equation, whatever the change we do on left hand side, if we do the same change on the right hand side, that will not affect the equality of the equation. That means the equality holds good. So let us add the b square term on both the sides. So here which one we treated as b? 2. So b square means what we have to add here? 2 square. So let us add 2 square on both the sides of this equation. So what we get now? X square plus 2x into 2 plus 2 square equals to, on the right hand side we have 4 plus 2 square. So here we add 2 square on both the sides so that the equality holds good. Now the left hand side part is clearly in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square, where a is x and b is 2. So can we write it is in the form of a plus b whole square? Yes. So by writing it is in the form of a plus b whole square, we can get a means x plus b means 2, x plus 2 whole square. X plus 2 whole square equals to, on the right hand side what you have, 4 plus 2 square equals to 4. 4 plus 4. Now again simplifying this, we get x plus 2 whole square equals to 8. Now what we get? X plus 2 whole square equals to 8. So now we get the perfect square on the left hand side, that is x plus 2 whole square. So now to solve this, x plus 2 whole square equals to 8. So we can transpose the square onto the right hand side. So we get on the left hand side x plus 2 equals to, if we transpose square to the right hand side, we get square root of 8. So we get square root of 8. And here square root can take either positive value or negative value. We know that. So here we can take the root of 8 as positive or negative. So we can write plus or minus square root 8. So now we have x plus 2 equals to plus or minus square root 8. Now what is our target? We need to find the variable x, which is the solution of the given quadratic equation. So for that, let us transpose this plus 2 to the right hand side. So we get x equals to minus 2 plus or minus square root 8. So we can take the roots of this x as x equals to minus 2. In plus or minus square root 8, first take positive root 8, that is plus root 8. So minus 2 plus root 8 is one of the solution. And if we take negative root 8, we can get the x value as minus 2 minus root 8, which is the second solution of this quadratic equation. So now what are the roots that we get here? One is minus 2 plus square root 8, and next one is the minus 2 minus square root 8, which are the solutions of the given equation, that is x square plus 4x minus 4 equals to 0. So here in this problem, to find the solutions of this quadratic equation, at first we try to use the method of factorization, but it doesn't work. Then we use the next method called method of completing the square. So in this method, what we did first we transposed the constant term to right hand side. Then we rearrange the left hand side part so that we get a complete square on the left hand side. After getting the complete square on the left hand side, it becomes very easy for us to find the solutions of this given equation. So here in this method, our main target is we have to get a perfect square on the left hand side part of the given equation after transposing the constant term to the right hand side. And this thing is the important we need to keep in mind whenever we want to use this method for obtaining the solution. And one more point is also there. If you want to use this method, the coefficient of x square must be 1. If it is not 1, then we have to make the x square coefficient as 1 without changing the originality of the given equation. That means we do not disturb the equality of the equation. So without changing the originality of the given equation, we have to make the x square coefficient as 1. Now let us understand this by taking another example. So let us take one more equation. Find the roots of a quadratic equation 3x square minus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. Now we are going to find the roots of this quadratic equation by the method of completing square. So in that method, first what we have to do, we have to see whether the coefficient of x square is 1 or not. So what is the coefficient of x square here? It is 3. So it is not equals to 1. So when the coefficient of x square is not equals to 1, first we need to make the coefficient of x square as 1. So for that here, what we have to do? We have to divide the entire equation with 3 so that we get the x square coefficient as 1. So let us divide this quadratic equation on both sides with 3. So by dividing with 3, we get 3x square minus 5x plus 2 by 3 equals to 0 by 3. Now on the left hand side, we can write 3x square by 3 minus 5x by 3 plus 2 by 3 equals to 0. Now here in 3x square by 3, we can cancel 3 so we get x square minus 5 by 3x plus 2 by 3 equals to 0. Now we get the x square coefficient as 1. Next what we have to do? We have to isolate the constant term, that is 2 by 3. So here on the left hand side we have plus 2 by 3. If we transpose this to the right hand side, we get minus 2 by 3. So after transposing 2 by 3 to the right hand side, we get x square minus 5 by 3 x equals to minus 2 by 3. Now on the left hand side we have x square minus 5 by 3x. Now we need to rearrange this left hand side part such that we get a perfect square on the left hand side. To get the perfect square on the left hand side, we have to express the second term, that is 5 by 3x, in the form of 2ab. So here in 5 by 3x, x is representing a. So in 2ab form, we already have a as x. Now the remaining number, that is 5 by 3, should be expressed as in the form 2b, so that we get 2ab form. So now this 5 by 3 should be written in the form of 2b. So let us do some rough work here. What we have to do here, we have to express the number 5 by 3 in the form of 2b. Now using this I am going to find the term which should be added on both sides. So if I transpose this 2 to left hand side, we get the 2 is multiplying here. If it comes to the left hand side, it becomes divided. So we get 1 by 2 into 5 by 3. So which is equals to 5 by 6 equals to b. So here we get b as 5 by 6. That means in this place, if you want to write this 5 by 3x in the form of 2ab, we can write it as 2 into a, in the place of a we can write x, into b, in the place of b we can write this 5 by 6. So into 5 by 6. So if you see what we get, 2 into x into 5 by 6, which is equals to 5 by 3x. If you simplify this again, here we can cancel 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, so that we get again 5 by 3x. So now 5 by 3x is expressed as 2 into x into 5 by 6, so that we get the form 2ab here. Now what we get in the place of b? We get 5 by 6 in the place of b. Now it is in the form of a square minus 2ab. Now to make this perfect square, which term should be added to this? As it is in the form of a square minus 2ab, we have to add b square term, so that we get a square minus 2ab plus b square here. A square minus 2ab plus b square, which is equals to a minus b whole square. So to make this perfect square, we have to add 5 by 6 whole square on both sides. So let us add 5 by 6 whole square on both sides. So by adding we get x square minus 2 into x into 5 by 6 plus 5 by 6 whole square equals to, we have minus 2 by 3 on the right hand side. To this we have to add 5 by 6 whole square. So plus 5 by 6 whole square. Now the left hand side part is clearly in the form of a square minus 2ab plus b square, where x is representing as a and 5 by 6 is representing as b. So this expression can be written as x minus 5 by 3 whole square, where x is representing a and 5 by 6 is representing b. And on the right hand side we get minus 2 by 3 plus 5 by 6 whole square can be written as 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 25 by 36. Now what we get? X minus 5 by 6 whole square equals to minus 2 by 3 plus 25 by 36. Now let us simplify on the right hand side. Here we have minus 2 by 3 and plus 25 by 36. If you observe the denominators here, the denominators are different. So to make them like fractions, here we get the LCM as 36. Since 36 is the multiple of 3, so here if you want to get the denominator 36, we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator with 12, so that we get the denominator of this equals to 36. So by multiplying with 12 to the numerator and the denominator, we get minus 2 into 12 by 3 into 12 plus 25 by 36. And after multiplying these two, we get minus 2 into 12 equals to minus 24 by 3 into 12 equals to 36. So we get minus 24 by 36 plus 25 by 36. So here we have the numerators minus 24 and plus 25. So by adding them we get 1. So we get 1 by 36 as their result. Now if we transpose the square which is on the left side to the right side, it becomes square root. So we get x minus 5 by 6 equals to square root of 1 by 36. So here we know the square root value can be taken as plus and minus. So we can write plus or minus root 1 by 36. And here root 1 by 36 is nothing but root 1 is 1 and 36 square root is 6. So we can write plus or minus 1 by 6. So what we get, x minus 5 by 6 equals to plus or minus 1 by 6. And if we take x minus 5 by 6 equals to positive 1 by 6, we get x minus 5 by 6 equals to 1 by 6. And transpose minus 5 by 6 to right hand side, we get x equals to 1 by 6 plus 5 by 6. So here both are like fractions, so we can add them. By adding them we get x equals to 5 by 6 plus 1 by 6 will be equals to 6 by 6, which is nothing but 1. So we get x equals to 1. and if we take the square root value as minus, if we take the square root value as minus, so we get x minus 5 by 6 equals to minus 1 by 6, and transposing minus 5 by 6 to right hand side, we get x equals to minus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, and by simplifying this we get 4 by 6, x equals to 4 by 6, and here 4 and 6 are not co-primes, they have 2 as common factor. So by cancelling the numerator and the denominator with the 2, we get 2 2's are 4, 2 3's are 6, so we get x as 2 by 3. So here we get x equals to 1 and x equals to 2 by 3, which are the solutions of the given quadratic equation 3x square minus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. So but here, instead of factorization method, we used the method of completing square. So from these two examples, we can write the algorithm for method of completing square. So the algorithm for the method of completing square. So in this first, let us consider the given quadratic equation as ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. In the first step, what we have to do? We have to make x square coefficient as 1. For that, what we have to do? We have to divide the entire equation by a. Next, in second step, what we did? We have to transpose the constant term to right hand side. So in the second step, what we have to do? We have to write the term c by a on the right hand side part. Next, after transposing, what we did? To make the left hand side part as a perfect square, we added some term on both sides. So here, what term we have to add on both sides? So to make LHS as a perfect square, we have to add 1 by 2 into b by a whole square on both sides of this equation. So what is the step? Step 3. We have to add 1 by 2 into b by a whole square on both sides to make LHS a perfect square. In the next step, write the left hand side part as a perfect square and simplify the RHS part for the solutions. So these are the steps that we follow in finding the solutions of a quadratic equation using the method completing the square.